Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Detail Rag, episode 53. Today, we have with us from Shiny Jets, Mr. Brett Berry. Brett, thank you so much for being here. How are you today?
Hey, Brian. Thank you so much for having me. I
Hey,
appreciate it. Excited to get on here and talk with you.
Truly an honor. I've been watching you for a long time. I've watched your videos. Again, I just think the aircraft industry is first of all, I want to let everybody know right now that I don't know everything about you, but from what I've seen, you've built a huge business on your love to hate cup holders. Tell me about that.
Words going around, huh?
Words around, words on the street.
Oh man, I used to do cars for probably a year and a half, 2 years, and I hate cup holders. And luckily, the cup holders in aircraft don't get that dirty, so I don't have to quit aircraft detailing.
I
And
guess if you don't serve drinks, you don't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah, I mean the corporate jets and stuff have cup holders, but it's not like they're spilling and there's coins in there and like hair ties and you name it. And then spilling coffee and stuff. It's just not really a huge problem for aircraft, and especially warbirds don't have cup holders.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about you and where all of this started. How did you grow up like in an aircraft family?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, my dad's an artist, and then my
Okay.
mom owned a salon, and then that burnt down, so she just decided to be a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
So,
How long have you been detailing?
strictly aircraft. I think we're coming up in June on 16 years.
Okay.
As my own business. Yeah, so strictly aircraft. So
was there something that triggered that for you? Do you just have a love of airplanes and you thought, hey, this would be something I'd like to do because I hate cup holders? Or
no, I just don't do well with bosses.
Okay.
And like guidelines of working, 9 to 5 or whatever.
Okay.
Instead of just work all the time. At least I had the flexibility to do what I want, though, when I want. If I'm not doing anything, might as well work.
That's awesome.
That's just me.
Okay.
So I think more or less, so my dad is a world champion taxidermist and world champion wooden fish carver. And
wow.
Growing up, we would go fishing out in the ocean. I'd pull something up off the bottom of the ocean, like 300-400 feet deep. And I'm like, what the heck is that? He's like, oh, that's a Johnny bass, or that's a, like he would always know exactly what fish it was. He's like, that's a tree fish. And so he is super fanatical about what he does. The exact amount of spines on the dorsal fin on a brown trout that he carves into it, right? Carving all the scales into the fish, painting it, and then, well, is the trout from this region or that region, stuff like that. So he's very fanatical. So I think I got that from him. I'm very fanatical about aircraft detailing, understanding just everything down to like as much as I can.
Right. And do you think because you understand it and you're more fanatical about it, that you've become more efficient at it?
Yeah, more efficient at it, and more efficient at articulating it and helping my students understand it.
Okay.
You can't really teach anything unless you fully understand it.
You just mentioned, and I've got a lot of notes written down, and there's several things that I've got written down about your online training, your Shiny Jets Masterclass. Tell everybody a little bit about what you have to offer as far as aircraft detailing. To me is something that, like, you and I spoke earlier about. When I see an airplane, I love airplanes, but when I look at an airplane, I think, man, I could never do that. It's just way too big. It's just, tell everybody a little bit about what you have to offer as far as your courses are concerned.
So I hear a lot of people say that it's like, it's too big, this and that. I mean, if you want to go do 10 paint corrections on cars with 10 different customers at 10 different locations, or you could potentially do one aircraft, one spot. It's just more surface area. I mean, you can only polish a section, right?
Right.
One section at a time. So I just keep moving to the next. I just focus on each section. Don't look at the bigger picture. I just keep going, So it's paint on a surface.
Okay.
So our trainings, over the years, I've always taken notes when I had new employees, the issues that they had, what they were trying to learn, trying to find all the problems that I had with employees so that it would help students. And so it's a real world problem solving put into a course.
Okay.
And then making everything a lot easier and less complicated. Because a lot of people tend to complicate things. I don't know if they do that to stroke their own ego or what. Some of the stuff I do in training, like you won't see it on my content, but when you come to my course or take my online courses, I'm embarrassed of how easy some of these tasks are. And the tools I use or whatever, I literally tell them, like, I'm kind of embarrassed to show you guys this, but this is how we do it. And it's so easy, but I never wanted to make, my trainings or whatever an art, because that's hard to duplicate. I want it to just be an easy step-by-step process to get the same results that I do. And there's always little curveballs there, but we have like for the students, I have a Facebook group, a free private Facebook group that they can post their questions, they can search, and they get answered. So we just work through a process of elimination based off logic, and then my resources of either mechanics and stuff like that and other experts in the industry to make sure that we're safely doing the right thing for the aircraft. So,
and I don't want to overcomplicate anything by not knowing what you offer, but you have online courses and you have in-person courses, correct? What would be the difference for somebody who's trying to make a decision to get into aircraft detailing?
So my two I've got like two basic customers over. I've got detailers, like auto detailers or boat detailers or or even aircraft detailers. And then I have, people in the aviation industry. So I have detailers like auto, marine, and then I have aviation people in the aviation sector. What we have is if someone calls me that's a existing auto detailer, I tell them just to take the online course because it's going to educate them on aircraft, all the different services that they could do. And then if they're coming from the aviation industry, chances are they've never held a polisher, so I want them to come do some hands-on with me. So I have the online course, which the beauty of that is it's going to go over all the services. I spend an hour with you after your course going over a few things that we haven't added to the course yet, and then add you to the group. Then the other course is my hybrid course, and that one is you take the online course and you come to 5 days of hands-on training.
Is normally your training just 5 days in a week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, we just switched it up because I was students only really start retain stuff for like at the mat, or I mean it gets pretty close, but about like 5 to 6 hours. So we work about 6 hours a day. After 6 hours, it just goes in one ear and out the other. So they just have this like glaze on their face, and I'm still talking. I'm like, all right, you guys aren't picking up anything. So trying to without the online course before, I mean, I would probably need 7 to 8 days of training with them. But this way, we don't spend any classroom time other than just answering their questions, and it's all pretty much hands-on.
Okay.
So, they're educated on everything when they come to class, and then we practice and I verify their services.
Nice.
So that's the beauty of that.
So for somebody who might be thinking about getting into aircraft detailing, maybe it doesn't matter if it's a detailer already or someone who's not in detailing, but for somebody who's thinking about it, what would you say to them about the market for opportunity? What do you think is out there for them as far as how big is the industry? How small is the industry? What do you think their opportunities are?
That's kind of a case by case basis.
Okay.
I usually have them go check the airports around them and see what kind of jet centers. They're called FBOs, fixed base operators. So that's where the jets will land, and they can get a rental car, coffee, ice for the cooler in the jet,
Okay.
fuel, all that stuff. So I go, go check and see what's there. Go check and see if there's anyone detailing there. Go check for repair stations, which are maintenance shops. The reason for that is aircraft will fly in from, a couple 100 miles just for maintenance at a particular shop because they specialize in that type of aircraft. So
Okay.
that opens your network up, right? So you've got
Right.
aircraft coming in for maintenance. Why not get a detail? Like when you drop your Porsche off to the Porsche dealership, it comes out clean. Same thing with aircraft. It's actually stated you're supposed to wash aircraft before and after an inspection or
Really
annual. Yeah. So,
interesting.
so therefore, I mean, then you can add a bunch of different detail services on
Okay.
top of that. So
That's the one thing that I have a bad habit of is that I like to follow different industries that I feel like they have like built-in maintenance clients, like the barbers, right? You find a good barber, you get your haircut. Not me because I don't have any hair. You've got lawn care people. They have built-in maintenance clients. They're going to the house every 2 weeks, every week, whatever it is. Do you think is aircraft the same?
So our service is considered preventative maintenance.
Okay.
So it prevents the aircraft from corroding. We're
Okay.
getting all the contaminants off so it doesn't deteriorate the paint, and so it doesn't deteriorate the paint and further lead to corrosion. So
Just to clarify, because do you see the same people, the same aircraft all the time, or do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But you could possibly see a different aircraft. Somebody who might be flying. Okay, nice.
Yeah, maintenance shops, right? So right here, I'm at Threshold Aviation in Chino, California, and they work on Gulfstreams. So the Gulfstreams come in, and I'll do some detailing services on them, and then they leave.
Okay.
So
that's another question I have is that for somebody who's thinking about getting into the business, do you work alone? Do you have a team? Do you have employees? How big of a group of people do you have to have? Because I'm just thinking aircraft is huge. I need more than one guy.
Yeah. So I built Shiny Jets differently. Where I'm stepping back from doing day-to-day detailing and only really focusing on just doing aircraft for YouTube content.
Okay.
Full-length videos. But when I had my first company that I sold, my first aircraft detailing company that I sold, I had, what was it? 3 full-time guys, and I worked 20 hours a week. So I didn't physically detail. I came in for 4 hours, or no, what was it? And I had them working 410s because I only wanted to work 4 days a week. So I come in for 4 or 5 hours and then I would leave. Just make sure that they had everything they needed. So
I just imagine there's small aircraft, large aircraft, mid-size. Let's take a mid-size airplane. About how long does it take?
Man, there's so many
variables.
Yeah, there's so many variables. Do you know the name of an aircraft?
I do not.
Not. All right, let's go with I think there's like some songs that like raps about a G6, okay? I can't stand it, but anyways.
Is that up there? Is that like second underneath cup holders?
Yeah. No, I hate that stuff more. Like rappers rapping about the jets that they fly on that they don't own.
That they don't own.
That their record label owns. Because I do one like that.
Oh, nice.
So for a G6, wash like $3,000.
Okay. And you could do that in a day.
I think that's like probably 20 to 25 hours of labor.
Okay.
Depending.
So depending on how many guys you have on it,
the longer it takes,
Okay.
So yeah.
What's
I basically have an app.
I was gonna mention that you have a pricing app that can be purchased on your website, right?
Yeah.
Kind of help people, like if they are kind of venturing into the business, you can kind of guide them through what they should be charging and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about, and you and I talked a little bit about the fact that, I love the waterless car wash industry. I love, like, in aircraft, you say you have a wet wash and a dry wash, correct? Talk a little bit about, you did, when we were on the phone, you did talk a little bit about the benefits of the dry wash for you. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah. So let's see here. I was just noticing we were cleaning aircraft for quite a while, and it's just standard. You see everyone doing it. This was back in like 08, 09, and the 2010, and we're using brushes, and just over time I started seeing like little micro scratches and stuff like that. And then when I started Shiny Jets, we switched to dry washing, and I just noticed the longevity of the paint looking better a lot longer. Even aircraft sitting out on the ramp versus ones that were wet washed, there was definitely a night and day difference.
Okay. And I've said that to people too, is like way back in the day when I first started playing around with waterless car washes, is that I always felt like if I could do a door panel, because I'm in Ohio, you got rain, you got snow, you got all the goodies, and like if I just do one door panel, it seems like that door panel stays cleaner longer than the rest of the vehicle. So that was always a bonus for me. I always liked it. So
yeah, and just like, I mean, you don't have to buff it out as much. I mean, essentially, if you're creating small micro scratches, you're creating more surface area for more contaminants to stick over and over. So that process over and over, like you're not going to see it overnight, but 6 months to a year, you're going to notice a difference between a wet wash aircraft. I mean, you take two aircraft and do the same services in a year, you're going to notice a difference. 100% on aircraft. The only reason, especially, I mean, even on my car, like I have a black car. It's black metallic, and sometimes I don't do like the rinseless with the mitt, and I just spray the dry wash on it and wipe it. And I'm like, I was like, I'm not ceramic coating this thing anymore. I'm just gonna polish it like 2-3 times a year and slap some wax on it or something. I mean, it looks really good, but I'm just like, I walk by it and the sun hits it, and I'm like, geez.
So you have, because one of the things that you mentioned to me about the dry wash was the fact that some of the cons were more laundry naturally because you're using more towels.
Mhm.
It takes more time. But then one of the pros that I found interesting that you talked about was the fact that you actually spent more time on it, but it gave you the opportunity to notice something that might be wrong that you could report back to your client.
Yeah, I find that a lot. I found aircraft of mine, it's like a 2-year-old King Air, probably $6 million aircraft. Looks like someone used a pry bar in between two panels when they were putting the cows back on or something and bent the skin, and it's only like a little spot like that was like lifted up. I mean, and I was like, I wouldn't have seen it before if that was the case. I mean, I was like, are you kidding me? I'm trying to pull it up here. I think I got it right.
So you think
Yeah, like
I mean,
look at
could
this.
you?
Where is that?
Yeah, I can see it. Holy
Right
cow.
there. Right?
So do you think you'd have missed that with a wet wash?
Probably.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I just find a lot more things. You're just a lot of mechanics. There's people that they don't have necessarily a repair station. They're not a maintenance shop, but they're mechanics and they'll do annuals on aircraft.
okay.
And I know a few of them, and they actually include in their annual or inspection or whatever a detail because they find a lot of stuff. They're waxing the bottom of the plane, all that stuff. They're hand waxing stuff like that. They're not like serious detailers, but
They still are
they
doing it.
yeah, they're getting intimate with the aircraft, as I would
Okay.
say.
Nice. So on that note, we talked a little bit about you're going to be coming out with a product line, correct?
I got 3 big things I want to announce today.
Well, go. Tell
One of
us.
them I didn't tell you.
Besides the cup
Maybe
holder.
2 of them I didn't tell you about.
Well, this is your show. Tell people what's going on, man.
All right, so I'll name all 3 of them, and then you choose which one you want to start off with.
I
So,
love detailing games. Let's do this.
uh, we've got Fly Shiny Pro or Fly Shiny coming out. That's our product line.
Okay.
And then I've got a book called Beyond Shiny: A Shiny Jet's Approach to Aircraft Detailing. So it's going to be an ebook, an audio book. We'll translate it into Portuguese and Spanish as well. I don't speak Portuguese or Spanish, so I'm going to have to hire someone to do the audio book. And then I have become one of the owners of the ADA, which the ADA is the Aviation Detailing Association. So
amazing. So which one? So I'm interested in, first of all, it's not that I'm going to scratch the book off the list because I would love to have the book. I would buy it tomorrow. But my problem is that I have to sit and physically hold something with a cup of coffee before I read it.
Yeah.
So the other one is the product line, Fly Shiny product line. Super interested in that, just to see what you come out with and what you would use maybe differently than aircraft or automotive products. I'm interested in that. Talk about the products first, and then we can talk about the book. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So the product line is with any business or as an entrepreneur, you find a problem and then you create a solution.
Correct.
Right. So the aviation detailing products that are in the market today have been around since probably before I was born, and they haven't tweaked them at all, or if much,
Okay.
There's no innovation there. They have their avenues to sell the product, like as in being in manuals and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I just guess that they're not really concerned with innovation and making things either safer for the detailer, better for the aircraft, and better results, more efficient, and
Okay.
stuff like that. So I'm about to put the hurt on them.
That- so I'm just assuming
They're
there's
gonna
going
know
to
my
be,
name.
huh?
They're gonna know my name.
They're gonna. I think there's plenty of people that already know your name.
Yeah,
So
they're gonna know it even more.
you're gonna know it. So I'm guessing, and I'm guessing. I'm just guessing you could have a wet wash, a dry wash, some type of degreasers, some coatings, maybe.
So I've got no wet wash. I've got a dry wash.
Okay.
And I'll run through the product line and kind of cliff notes them.
Sure.
So the dry wash is called Fly Shiny Static Guard. So with aircraft build up static in the flight in flight, and you've got the static wicks, those little. I'm just going to try and put it in layman's terms for everyone. Those little whiskers on the back of the wings and all that stuff.
Okay.
So those are called static wick, and that is where the static dissipates through.
Okay.
So our dry wash will help minimize static buildup on the aircraft, and it also has a small amount of wax in it, so it adds protection.
Perfect.
So there's currently a wax in the industry that helps is anti-static but I mean, waxes wear off. Why not just use it every time you wash?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So I feel that that's pretty innovative. There's nothing else on the market like it for aircraft, and I think it should be used industry-wide, personally.
Yeah, especially if it's getting rid of something that could possibly cause a problem for the aircraft when it's in the air. Have coatings? You're gonna have coating?
Yeah, Fly Shiny Pro.
Okay.
So our ceramic coating is also very revolutionary. Our application process, as well as the amount of ceramic you actually use. So I'm not necessarily saying it's a problem. I mean, it is what it is. It's a problem for them, not for me. Is all the other ceramic coating companies rely on gravity and the nanoparticles to fall into the pores of the paint.
Okay.
So through much trial and error, I mean, I was supposed to launch back last August. I've been using this coating for well, I've been tweaking it, a lot of it, so just to get it to work right. And we found with aircraft paint, it doesn't work on other paints. It doesn't work on car paints. I don't know about boats and stuff like that. I just don't really focus on it. Is we use a buffer to apply our ceramic, and we noticed that doing it like that basically beats the ceramic down into the paint. Like, it makes it penetrate into the paint. It makes it penetrate into the pores. And it turns it into something that was just kind of like a good normal coating into like extremely chemically resistant.
Nice.
You'll use a third of what all other ceramic coating companies use.
Okay.
Third. So if it takes you 3 bottles to do a Citation Jet with Fly Shiny Pro, it'll take 1.
Okay.
1 bottle. So I can do a Citation Jet, which is like a 6-passenger jet, with 1 bottle. I did one, and I had enough left over to airbrush the landing gear. I'm doing the bottom of the wings, the bottom of the belly, the bottom of the horse, like the top and bottom, the full thing. So the beauty of it too is it's faster, you use less product, and you use less towels. On a Citation Jet, I can get away with using 2, maybe 3 towels for removing the ceramic.
Okay.
Because the way everyone else does it is they apply it. Number one, they let it set, then they level it, and then they take another towel and they buff it off, right? They buff the rest off. Well, the buffer action and our application process does leveling right there. So you just need one towel just to buff off the excess.
The excess. Okay.
Yeah, which the excess that the other companies are using, they're trying to saturate the surface so gravity is getting it, you know, or however it's working to get into those pores. It's you know, we don't that all that product sitting on top is a waste. All that stuff going in the towel is a waste. That's
a waste.
You know, 2 bottles of waste.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just, I mean, coming up with solutions.
Sweet. So what's so, and you're supposed to be the middle of next month. You're going to launch in the middle of next month. Mm-hmm. And are you going to have a whole product line, or are you just going to start with one at a time to see what happens? Or are you going to?
No, we had some setbacks on our cleaners.
Okay.
That I'm working through. But we will be coming out with 2 metal polishes, a sprayable ceramic called Air Guard, and then our Fly Shiny top cut, which is our heavy metal polish, and then Fly Shiny Reflection, which is our fine metal polish. I'm having trouble with our metal polish that is in between those two to fill the gap from coarse to fine. But I've noticed that I can do 2 steps of my fine polish. We'll get out the heavy, the from top cut.
Okay. Nice.
So we've got Fly Shiny Bug Blitz and Fly Shiny Carbon Blitz. And those we're having to do extra testing. So there is testing that I could run it through. And it's like, we're worried about hydrogen embrittlement. But I'm worried about, I just want to be sure of all the different oils and solutions and carbon. When you mix my cleaners with carbon or hydraulic oil or engine oil, what is it going to off gas? So I could just send it to testing and they say, no, it doesn't cause hydrogen embrittlement, but it doesn't add those other factors in that I want to be sure of. Right.
Sure. Absolutely.
So, that's why I'm not able to launch those 2. I probably could and be fine, but I just can't do that.
You want to know, that you're putting out. I mean, especially with, from my perspective, if the industry hasn't changed the chemicals that they've used for such a long time, and you're going to step out into that arena and make something better, and then you want to make sure that you're going to put out a product that people are not only going to want to use, but it's going to work the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, I don't want I look at it as like a dry wash. Like, it may not do something to that landing gear when you clean it that one time, but over a year, 2 years, it could deteriorate something.
Right.
Right. So just like the wet washes with the brush, just over time it deteriorates. It's just going to deteriorate the paint and make it degrade faster because of all the little micro scratches, more surface area, yada yada yada.
Well, then we'll tell everybody to go to shinijets.com and look for those products along with your training if they're interested.
Yep.
Go into the book. Tell me a little bit about the book. What do you got going on there?
So my trainings are expensive, like they are. I always tell people, don't do my training unless you're going to take it serious and do this. So it's just a lower barrier to entry. Should get more information out there on safely detailing aircraft. For those guys who, I'm going to do it my way, hopefully they can pick up this book and learn a few things and for safely detailing aircraft. So,
Okay.
yeah,
That's
so it'll
fair.
be focused on my product line, obviously.
Sure.
But yeah, so I'm excited about that. I've got it. My first round of editing, I've gone through. I intend to start the second round tomorrow, and I've got to rewrite a few sections. So, and then
Okay.
adding photos to it. I like books with photos.
You like books with photos,
Yeah,
planes without cup holders.
yeah, exactly. You're
Yeah.
on.
So, um, so the book is kind of maybe even be a precursor into some of the courses for people, correct? Give them a little
Yeah,
insight. Okay.
yeah. It's like they could. I mean, even if they're existing, I know that they'll be able to learn some stuff from it.
Okay.
It goes into marketing. It goes into heck, every single service I do.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So we are. I've incurred some costs from it. I'm looking. Yeah. So, um, it's just taken a long time though. It's I think it's like 250 pages. It started out at 300. I chopped it up a bunch,
okay.
and I think we're around 250 pages right now. Once I add the photos, it'll probably bump up a little more, but it was a bear, but it's going to be the cheapest. I mean, I don't. It's going to be under $50.
Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Yeah.
And I still think, like we talked a little bit earlier, is that I still think, and just like this podcast, detailing is it's kind of how we all came together, but
Mhm.
everybody does things different. We all have our own different levels of what we like to do and how we do it and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I still think, maybe you do something marketing wise that somebody else can pick up from with the book.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
might be in that book that might click with them and go, man, why didn't I think of that? Why am I not doing that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah.
that's the thing. Like, uh, I mean, I've had students that were like 19 years old in Canada, or I've had a couple under 20 that have taken my online course, and one of them started in June, and they have 3 employees, and they're under
Wow.
20. The other one
Wow.
was like, "Hey, he's like, I took a whim and was going to take your course or go get a job. I took your course, and now I just had my first $10,000 a month within the
Nice.
first year." Like,
Nice.
so hopefully the book can I mean, if you don't I mean, you should just buy the book if you're looking to get into it. Your
Sure.
return on investment is it's stupid.
Might give you enough information for you to make that decision.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
100%. Or
Nice.
make some money to come to one of the hands-on trainings to get some more in-depth stuff. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it just doesn't. I just can't fit everything into the book. Into it's. Yeah, I can't fit everything in the book. I go over
Right.
everything,
Right.
but there's nothing like understanding things that you just understand things more better, like being right there.
Right.
It's
Right.
like going to college, getting your degree, and then you can't get a job because you have no experience.
And I think, especially in aircraft detailing, I mean, I think detailing, definitely it's a hands-on business, right?
Mhm.
So it's much easier to understand if you're there and you're learning from somebody and watching them do it and that kind of thing. So, but we'll go into the ADA. Tell us a little bit about that. What do you got going on with that?
Yeah. So the ADA is the Aviation Detailing Association, and the reason we started that, me and Josh from Sparrowhawk Aircraft Detailing. So he's an IA A&P mechanic. So he's an inspector. He's a mechanic. He's a certified mechanic. So he has a different perspective than I do. He comes strictly from aviation, and I come from detailing. And so we've put our knowledge together, and we are building courses, different levels of courses similar to how a pilot would have to go through certain training and show their skills and get signed off by their instructor to become a pilot. Same thing with mechanics. So they got to do like written and oral tests and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what we're doing, is trying to set a standard for the aircraft detailing industry.
Okay. Is there anybody out there already or no? No? Okay.
Just
awesome.
Us.
That's awesome.
So what we're doing is we are so once you've become, gotten through certain levels of the course, the courses, you will have the ability to be on the map. So customers looking for a cleaning or detail or carpet cleaning on their jet, they can look at the ADA website, eventually the app, and book a cleaning with a certified aircraft detailer that has gone through training, knowing that they're going to use the right products, they're insured, they're doing all the right things. So along with that, we'll be working at certifying chemicals for aviation as well. So sort of like you have an organic stamp on your organic chicken or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll have an ADA stamp. It's certified aviation, certified by the Aviation Detailing Association. So we'll be doing that as well. And we'll be going global with this. So
nice.
Making sure that we're complying with all the governing bodies in different countries, different continents, and stuff like that. So yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
So it sounds to me like, first of all, you're a busy guy. But it sounds to me like just one step forward towards either the ADA or towards Shiny Jets. If you want to get into this industry, you're the man to talk to, and you can start with the book. You can go to an online class. You can get an in-person class. You're going to have products available. And you're even going to, through the app eventually for the ADA, you even have people being listed so that when somebody needs a job, that may be just built-in clientele for them. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for somebody who wants to get into the industry.
Yeah, I just eat, sleep, and breathe aircraft detailing. So I just keep putting out stuff,
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well,
I mean,
on that
I
note,
had trouble in English. I did good in math, but English class. So this has been tough. I only read one book in high school, and that was what was it? The Adventures of Huck Finn, something like that. I think it is. That's the only book I read in high school, and I got through with a 3.0.
Nice.
Like, great average.
Oh, well, tell everybody where they can find everything that you're going to have to offer.
So you can find everything that we have to offer on shinyjets.com. Be sure to subscribe. I do a couple blogs a month, just talking about different topics. We've got our podcast, Shiny Jets podcast. And then we've got, so everything's there on shinyjets.com. Follow me on YouTube. I do full length videos. That's very slow at gaining traction. I don't know why. I just had a post on Instagram that I took 3 minutes to edit, and it got 50,000 views. Nice. I spent 5 days editing a YouTube video that has 98,000 views. That's 26 minutes long.
Wow.
So yeah, give me a follow on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it, guys. And then the Aviation Detailing Association.com. You can find information there. So that is live starting today or tomorrow, actually.
Is that actually going to be ADA.com, or is it going to be spelled out?
Aviation. It's spelled out.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Well, Brett, thank you so much for being here. You're a wealth of knowledge. I think definitely the go-to guy if anybody wants to get into the industry. I think you can help them from all different facets of it. I'm looking forward to maybe checking out some of the products, maybe even the ebook.
Yeah, they're not designed for cars, but
I know, but still,
you want to put it on the wall.
Hey, I have a whole wall, so I might as well just add to it, right? So, but
women in their shoes, detailers in their products, right?
Exactly. So, well, first of all, thanks for sharing your shine. Thanks for telling your story. Let's see if we can get people to reach out. And, it's a teeny tiny little podcast, but, hey, somebody's out there listening. And I appreciate you being here. Appreciate the time. And thank you so much for everything. And don't hesitate to reach out and we can chat again sometime.
Sounds good. Are you going to be at Mobile Tech?
I am not. I thought about it, and I'm kind of bummed because I used to go to the Southern Detailers Conference because I'm a lot closer to that.
Okay, never been to that one.
Yeah, it was teeny tiny little show, but there are a lot of good people there, a lot of good products and people, and I just don't. A little costly right now, and time is kind of so. But other than that,
I'm barely making it, man.
There's MTE is going to be one of these days, and I've never been to SEMA, so
okay.
I'd like to go to SEMA just to see what that's all about. There's a lot of rage about it, and it looks super cool whenever I see people post about it. So
yeah, I went for a day this year.
Did you?
Yeah.
So
I wasn't going to go, but my customer was flying in his jet, and he's like, you can sit co-pilot. I was like, sure, I'll go.
Sure. Well, is there anything else you want to share before we go?
No, that's it.
That's it. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Brett Barry, ShinyJets.com. Look at what he has to offer. Definitely head over to the website. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. He has one great video about, you play, who do you play, Biff?
Oh, Biff. Yeah. My characters. I got to get some more characters, man. I got one that I want to dress up as a pilot, maybe a wig and a flight attendant. We can do that.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So, all right, brother. Thank you so much for everything. Appreciate you being here. We'll talk to you later, man. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Later.